a la voix de quelqu'un qui vient de passer toute la nuit à boire du whisky. C'est ainsi que le magazine Rolling Stone présentait en 1970 un jeune chanteur anglais en passe de devenir une vedette. Aujourd'hui, Rod Stewart incarne le cliché du rocker plus que tout autre musicien. Sexe, drogue et voitures de course font partie de ses passions au même titre que le foot. Au cours de 30 ans de carrière, aucun scandale ne lui a été épargné. Mais après tout, son penchant pour les jolies blondes et l'alcool y a largement contribué.
I think really must be a love of rock and roll, a real commitment to make rock and roll. But once it's in your blood, it's there to stay. You've got to be able to laugh at yourself. And I think the business I'm in, I think vulnerability is a very important thing. I think people in the audience, people who like me, like that side of me. Most entertainers are vulnerable. We don't think we're any good. We always think we're going to be failing the next day. And I think if you can let that go on stage and just open up your heart, I think it makes you a better entertainer.
Roderick David Stewart, alias Rod Stewart, est né le 10 janvier 1945 à Londres. Son père, Robert, vendeur de journaux de son métier, est écossais. Sa mère, Elsie, est anglaise. Dans sa jeunesse, Rod passe pour un bagarreur qu'il vaut mieux éviter dans la cour de l'école ou dans la rue. La musique occupe une place importante dans la famille Stewart et Rod fait ses premières expériences musicales dès son plus jeune âge, au risque d'y laisser d'ailleurs quelques plumes.
My family, Christmas parties and everybody singing, and I used to hide under the piano. That was my first musical experience. I was supposed to be asleep upstairs, you know. I'd creep down and get under the piano and watch everybody dancing at Christmas. Tonight, it's gonna be alright. 'Cause I love you, girl. Ain't nobody gonna stop us now. In the early days, I was really just interested in folk music, you know, like Ramming Jack Elliott, and then I got interested in black music, and I wanted to sound like a black man. I wanted to sound like Otis Redding or Sam Cooke. It's still a great reference point to me, those guys, those singers, and David Ruffin, the singer with the Temptations. I always find sometimes I just have to put their records on and listen to them. Brings me right back to where I started from. Since then, I've managed to meet them on several occasions. So there's not many of the original Temptations left now. You know, most of them have gone upstairs to the big stage in the sky.
Plus de 30 ans plus tard, Rod Stewart rend hommage à ses racines noires avec le Motown Song.
My dad bought me a guitar when I was 15. It cost £2.03. How much is that in German money? It's not very much.
Comme beaucoup de musiciens anglais de son âge, Rod Stewart idolâtre lui aussi Lonnie Donegan, le roi du skiffle. La première formation dans laquelle il joue à l'âge de 14 ans est donc en toute logique un groupe de skiffle.
Guitars and singing American folk songs. So that was the first group I was in. They were called the Cool Cats. Yeah, it's great.
Rod Stewart quitte l'école à 15 ans. Après avoir exercé le métier de sérigraphe pendant un temps, il a l'opportunité de commencer une carrière de footballeur au FC Brentford. Malgré ses débuts prometteurs, le jeune sportif alors âgé de 16 ans décide de changer de voie.
Well, I had to get up too early in the morning for a start. I had to go from where I lived in North London all the way across to South London. It used to take me about an hour and a half. I had to be there by 7:30 in the morning, so I used to get up at 6. So I thought, this is not for me. And this was about the same time I was just really getting involved in music. You know, I'd listened to Sam Cooke, and I was really influenced by music.
Son père, Robert, accepte son choix, même s'il avait toujours rêvé d'avoir un fils footballeur.
very, very supportive. They really were. As I said, my dad bought me my first guitar for no apparent reason, you know. I really wasn't interested in music when I was about 13 or 14. He bought me the guitar. So he was real supportive. I think it just thought it would last about 6 months. Here I am, 30-odd years later.
Après avoir bourlingué à travers l'Europe du Sud pendant 1 an et demi, en tant que musicien de rue, le jeune Rod Stewart revient à Londres. Il est tellement sale que son père manque de tomber à la renverse. Sa musique ne le fera pas vivre, du moins pas à Londres, et il accepte un boulot de fossoyeur, lui qui, paradoxalement, a une peur panique de la mort.
I was terrified of dying. And it coincided with getting a job as a gravedigger. And the reason I took the job is because I had really long hair, you know, longer than yours, and I couldn't get a job anywhere. We were beatniks in those days in the 60s. But it was only lasted 2 weeks. I was a gravedigger for about 2 weeks. In fact, I was a gravedigger longer than I was a professional footballer. Yeah.
Après un court intermède en tant qu'harmoniciste et chanteur du groupe Five Dimensions de Jimmy Powell, Rod Stewart fait la connaissance du bluesman Long John Baldry, dont la réputation n'est plus à faire. Depuis 1961, il fait partie de la première formation d'Alexis Corner, Blues Incorporated, un élément incontournable de la scène musicale londonienne.
He was on one station platform and I was on the other platform. I think we were going in opposite directions, and I think I'd either been to see the Yardbirds, the Stones or the Downliners Sect, one of those groups that were great at the time. And I was playing a harp and singing on the railway station.
I hear the sound of this blues harmonica playing, and it was, you know, the riff from the Howling Wolf song, Smokestack Lightning. I thought, well, that sounds pretty good. Let me go and investigate. So I walked down the other end of the platform and see this, what looked like a pile of coats, and a great big scarf around the top of it, and a nose poking through the top. And it was indeed Mr. Stewart.
He came over and asked me to join his band. That's literally what happened. If it hadn't been for that foggy night in Twickenham, I wouldn't have been sitting here today. That's great.
I said, well, why don't you come down again on Tuesday and get up with the band and have a play? Which he did. Totally terrified. Very, very nervous about the whole thing. I don't think the audience was too impressed at this first outing of his.
I tell you, it was a funny gig because I only knew 2 songs, and one of the guys in the band gave me a little black pill. You know, I was very naive, and I took it. He said, "This will make you feel great," and I made those 2 songs last about 2 hours. I just kept singing the verses over and over again. You know, it's out of my skull. Yeah.
Rod Stewart rejoint les Hoochie Coochie Men avant de devenir le chanteur des Steam Packet. À cette époque, Long John Baldry fait pratiquement partie de la famille Stewart, car il a la lourde charge de ramener la future star au bercail à l'heure fixée par sa mère Elsie.
It was a little bit embarrassing. It wasn't like a curfew. I had to, because my dad was running a newsagent's at the time, you see. It's an amazing story. My dad was running this newsagent shop, and I had to get up in the morning and help the boys do the paper rounds. So if one of the boys didn't come in to deliver the papers, then my dad would wake me up, and I was 19 at the time. How embarrassing. So my mum always wanted me to be in at a certain hour so that I got 4 or 5 hours sleep. Because sometimes we'd come all the way back from Manchester and we wouldn't get in until 3 or 4 in the morning. So that's why my mother used to want me to go to bed early.
Avant de s'engager dans les Steam Packet, il tente sa première expérience d'artiste en solo. Decca Records lui commande quelques chansons et lui accorde une séance d'enregistrement en studio. Mais ses débuts connaissent quelques ratés.
I was a week early for my appointment. Absolutely, 1 week early.
Rod est au rendez-vous, mais son single n'a pas beaucoup de succès. Decca Records préfère miser sur un certain Michael Philip Jagger du groupe les Rolling Stones. Rod Stewart est néanmoins invité au show télévisé Ready to Go.
I was so nervous I drank a bottle of rum. And I was supposed to come down this spiral staircase, you know, with a big Vox guitar. And I had high heel boots on. I got to the last step and I fell. That was my first disastrous TV appearance. And I still fall over on the TV as well.
Steam Packet devient rapidement l'objet d'un culte. Le groupe a de nombreux fans, même en dehors de Londres. Lorsqu'en 1966, Steam Packet décroche un contrat d'1 mois dans un club de Saint-Tropez, Rod Stewart se voit contraint de rester à Londres pour des raisons financières et il quitte le groupe. Peu de temps plus tard, on le retrouve avec son ami Ron Wood aux côtés de Jeff Beck.
I think it was the Cromwellian Club in London, and we were all there to see Jimi Hendrix. It was one of Jimi Hendrix's first appearances. And Woody happened to be there at the same time. And that's how we got together. We were all basically, he'd been thrown out the Yardbirds. I'd been thrown out the group I was in, which was the Steam Packet, I think, at the time. And Woody was in a group called the Birds that were, you know, going downhill. So we all decided to form a band together.
En 1968, le Jeff Beck Group entame une tournée de 2 mois à travers les USA. Elle démarre à New York où les musiciens sont programmés en avant-groupe des légendaires Grateful Dead. Ce soir-là, Rod Stewart découvre une nouvelle forme de jeu de scène.
I was very conscious of trying to sound black, you see, and so when I went to the States, I thought, well, this is the home of R&B and the blues. And so I walked out, I was about to go on stage, and I realised, supposing there's lots of black people there, they'll think I'm a phony. And I just got stage struck. I couldn't go on. So I hid behind the amps and sung, I think the number we opened with, Ain't Superstitious. And then we finished the number and they gave us such a huge round of applause. This was the Fillmore East in New York. I thought, we've got them. So I came out and started singing. You know?
La tournée aux USA et l'album Truth qui s'ensuit connaissent un grand succès. Le patron de Mercury voit de l'engager en tant qu'artiste solo. Rod s'aperçoit rapidement qu'il n'aspire plus qu'à une seule chose, mener une vie de musicien.